Now for our featured story of the day. Max Keiser predicts unlimited growth for MicroStrategy stock. I'll be discussing why that is. He also projects a 1987 style major market crash, which can send Bitcoin to 500,000 per coin and then to 10x to $5 million per coin. So let's break all this down. Shout out to the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. So as you can see in this headline here, we're going to be discussing the unlimited potential for the MicroStrategy stock and Saylor's genius plan of how he continues to buy billions and billions worth of the biddy. But here's something that Max shared on August 1st. There are still people who are financiers for decades who still don't understand what MicroStrategy is doing and what the stock literally has no top. He also has shared that I doubt the U.S. has the brains to add Bitcoin to reserves. Jealous Donald is no President Bukele. Bitcoin going to 5 million with or without the United States. So there you go. There's one of the 5 million predictions. He also has tweeted. Oh, actually, this is something I wrote, but on the back of his tweet from July 15th, where he wrote, my understanding is that Trump, when he wins, is announcing a plan to do a Saylor for the U.S. Treasury. And I got to give Max the credit because Max was the hint of Trump making a big Bitcoin USA adoption announcement at the Bitcoin conference. And I was the first podcaster to report on it the same day. So thank you, Max. In fact, I covered the story virtually every single day leading up to the conference, beating all the lamestream media outlets to the punch, including Bloomberg, Fox, CNBC, and the rest of them. So get your news exclusively here first because the lamestream is about 2 weeks behind JV and Crypto News Alerts, just FYI. He also shared on February 15th, I chatted with legendary Howard Lutnick. His recent affirmation that Cantor Fitzgerald manages 97 billion treasury port blew minds at Davos. He is a classic Wall Street BSD who, as one of 24 primary dealers, occupies the nexus of the multi-trillion-dollar US dollar universe. I gave him my pitch, and Bitcoin is an incredibly cheap CDS on an imploding global fiat money world, and how 5 million per coin is the fair market value for Bitcoin. I repeat, according to Max, $5 million per coin is the fair market value for Bitcoin. His response was a mixture of horror and excitement. Remember my credo, no billionaire left behind. And there you go, Cantor Fitzgerald with Bukele over there in El Salvador, preaching some Bukele-nomics. But so that's right, 5 million per coin is the fair market value of Bitcoin, according to Max Keiser. And now also, I think I was the probably first podcaster to share this story as well. 1987 style crash will send Bitcoin to 500,000, again quoting Max Keiser. And he actually shared this. Here's the receipt. Let's check out the date. February 21st, 2024, almost 200,000 views, quoting Max. 1987 style crash coming. Bitcoin, the ultimate safe haven, will soar past $500,000. Gold will continue getting demonetized by Bitcoin. Bitcoin ETFs and domestic Bitcoin miners will get seized by the U.S. government. 1 million middle and upper class migrants will flood into El Salvador. So there you go. And now let's discuss this MicroStrategy stock play, because this is actually quite interesting. Hardcore Bitcoin supporter and advisor to the president of El Salvador, Max Keiser, has made a remarkable statement about MicroStrategy, the business intelligence company led by Michael Saylor. Keiser suggests that the growth potential for MicroStrategy stock is essentially limitless, meaning there is no top. Max Keiser's bullish stance on MicroStrategy cannot be understated. He contends that even seasoned financiers fail to grasp the strategic brilliance of the company and why the stock price keeps climbing. So why is Max bullish on MicroStrategy? Number one, strategic Bitcoin acquisition. MicroStrategy's aggressive acquisition strategy involves a continuous purchase of Bitcoin. And according to Max, this strategy is the core of the stock's unlimited growth potential. And number two, tech-driven growth. Unlike traditional firms, MicroStrategy leverages advanced tech and data strategies, creating an inherently resilient and expansive business model. Keiser asserts in a tweet that many financiers do not understand these dynamics, resulting in their failure to anticipate the stock's performance, as I already pointed out. That's why MicroStrategy literally has no top. And Michael Saylor's company has been relentless in its Bitcoin acquisition strategy. Recently purchased another 169 Bitcoin for 11 million and now holds 226,500 Bitcoin, which is approximately $15 billion based on the current exchange rate. Maybe a little lower now considering the more recent crazy crash in the market. But also MicroStrategy just announced purchasing another $2 billion worth of Bitcoin with some convertible note deal. So here's the breakdown of the recent purchases. June acquisition purchase was 169 biddies at 11 million, now putting them at 226,500 Bitcoin. Their average purchase price is 36,800. Not too shabby. Now, the company plans to raise $2 billion for more Bitcoin. This is the latest news with MicroStrategy. They posted a net loss of nearly 103 million, which is $5.74 per share in a recent financial report. A stark contrast to the 22 million profit from the previous year. This loss is attributed to mainly an impairment charge on Bitcoin holdings amounting to 180 million, a significant increase from 24 million in Q2 of the previous year. So here's the fundraising efforts and plans to further solidify its Bitcoin position. Here's what they plan to do. March fundraising, raise 500 million. Summer fundraising, raised another 500 million and then increased it to 700 million. And they had an intense raise of an additional 2 billion as reported just recently. So an optimistic Michael Saylor demonstrated how Bitcoin has substantially boosted MicroStrategy share price, placing it ahead of other reputable tech companies. Quoting them here, MicroStrategy announced it holds a total of 226,500 Bitcoin with an average purchase price of 36,800 and a purchase cost of 8 billion and a current value of 14.4 billion. MicroStrategy will raise another 2 billion to buy more of the biddies. So why does Max believe MicroStrategy's stock price has no top? Max believes that MicroStrategy's strategic acquisition of Bitcoin and its advanced data analytic capabilities create a unique business model with vast growth potential, a combination that many traditional financiers fail to comprehend. How does MicroStrategy fund its Bitcoin acquisition? It funds it through various financial instruments. I'm not going to pretend to understand. I understand the whole thing, but you already know they do some transference of convertible notes and voila, they print money out of thin air. They borrow at virtually 0% interest and they just keep buying more Bitcoin. I love it. However, that strategy works. I'm all for it. Let's continue to do that strategy more. But there you have it, family. What are your thoughts? MicroStrategy stock going up forever, Laura, as well as the Bitcoin price. And what are your thoughts on the fair value, the true value of Bitcoin right now should be $5 million. What are your thoughts on that as well? And let me know. Welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show.